I just filmed this video and it didn't upload properly, but by the time I noticed that, I'd already deleted it from my memory card and now I have to film it again. No! I hate the world right now. This is not a good way to start off your day or first day at university. Dude, I need anger management classes, maybe just a little bit. Okay, so what I actually wanted to film, and already did film, is the book lover tag. I saw Nerdy Book Lover do the other day, and I wanted to do it as well. But it didn't upload. No. Okay. Pull yourself together. You can do this. Second time's the charm. That's not the saying. First question, do you remember how you developed a love for books? Not exactly. I think I taught myself to read the summer before I got into primary school, which was kind of pointless because I would have learned it in primary school anyway. I was very impatient back then, apparently. I just remember my mom, she would read me a lot of stories of books, and I just wanted to read it for myself because I really, really enjoyed it. And I don't know, I just have always loved reading, and so ever since back then, I remember the first book I read. It's still my favorite book. It's like about a little black raven. Der kleine Rabe Socke, maybe you know it if you're German. I don't know if it's even from Germany, but it was my favorite book growing up, and I loved reading that one. As well as basically everything else as well. Second question, where do you usually read? Probably everywhere. I usually read on my bed the most because it's just the most comfortable. But I always have a book with me whenever I go somewhere else, so I can read like on the tram, on the bus. I just read whenever I have time. Do you prefer to read one book at a time or several at once? I've already kind of answered this question before, like my last video, I think. I prefer to read one book at a time because I really want to get into the story. I want to be part of the story, and I can't do that if there's like more stories already floating through my head and that I don't want to be part of everything. I want to be focus on one thing and then read the other one after it. 4, what is your favorite genre? Probably fantasy. Definitely fantasy, actually. I like it. Kind of provides with an escape from normal life and with just, I don't know, a new perspective on life, I think. And I don't know, I like the idea of having magic in the world, and I'm still not entirely sure that it doesn't really exist. I'm still kind of waiting for the day when I'll wake up and someone will tell me I have actually magical powers. Guess who'll be 20 years old next month? What genre will you not read? This is a hard question. Also, I realized I didn't actually answer it in the last time I filmed this thing. What genre I will not read? What is there? Sci-fi, I like fantasy, I like contemporary, I like horror, I like scary stuff, which is horror, I like thrillers, I like occasionally crime. I don't really read that much crime, but I'm not a big fan of it, but I used to be at one point, so I can't really say I will not read it. Probably romance, because I don't like books that are entirely written for a love story. I prefer books that kind of have a love story in the story, but that could still be viable books without it. I don't know. I'm not a very romantic person myself. In fact, I detest all things romantic. And so probably romance. Do you have a favorite book? This is a really hard question, but because I took like 5 minutes to think about it in the last time I filmed this, I have an answer now. So lucky you. The Lies of Locke Lamora is probably my favorite book at the moment, but I don't want to fixate on it. I have commitment issues. I don't want to say it's only The Lies of Locke Lamora. It will probably be a different book soon because I change my mind all the time, but for the moment it's The Lies of Locke Lamora. It just really blew my mind, like my brain is on the wall type of way. Don't think that's what people mean when they say that phrase. What is the worst book you've ever read? Now, you guys know, you guys may or may not know that this book, I'm probably the only person on the planet that reads this book, because whenever someone mentions it in a video, they say they love it, and I'm like, why am I the only person who hates a throne of glass? But I really, 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 really did. I hated that book so much. So much! It was so terrible. It was terribly written. The heroine is a spineless piece of brainless matter. What? Where are all her vital organs in this scenario? I really don't know. I just really hated it. I hated her, I hated the book, I hated everything about it. And I did a rant/review on it. Link it right here if you care about it. But you're probably gonna hate me, but I really, really, really hated that book. I really did. What is the biggest book you've ever read? I didn't answer that either. I skipped so many questions last time. The biggest book I've ever read was probably The Memoirs of Cleopatra. It is like this size. I don't know. It has over 1,000 pages, and I think it might be the longest I've ever read. Okay, what is the last book you bought? I did a haul video like a couple days ago, so I bought 3 books the last time I went book shopping, and that was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, Looking for Alaska by John Green, and Delirium by Lauren Oliver. Which do you prefer, library books or buying books? Definitely buying books. I have rented my fair share of books from the library, especially when I'm broke. That's what I have to do. The other option would be not eating for a week. But I prefer buying books. I prefer owning them. I prefer having them sit on my shelf all beautiful and wonderful, and I can look at them and, like, I don't know, be a creep, who knows. Yeah, I love buying books, I love owning them, and it's like I collect books, I want to say, and I really hope physical books will never be replaced entirely by ebooks, because that would be the end of me. What are you reading now? Currently I'm reading Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, and I'm really liking it. I love that this book really focuses on marriage as a topic. I haven't really read any books that do that, but it does it in such an interesting way, and the tagline of the book is there are 2 sides to every story, and that is so true for this book, because you get the inside of both the husband and the wife, and they're both not happy with the situation, and I'm not quite sure who I'm actually siding with, because they both have their point and they're both making mistakes. And I like those kind of books that are not just black and white, because real life isn't black and white. There's not one bad guy and one good guy, and they have that epic final battle to figure out who will win, and it's always a good guy. No, that's not real life. That's a fairy tale, and this book really does seem realistic and very true to life, and it really sticks with you even after you put it down. So I'm really excited to see how it develops. And the last question is, what are disadvantages of being a book lover? Okay, number 1, you don't have a lot of money because you need to spend everything you own on books. Number 2, you don't have a lot of friends because you spend a lot of your free time with books. I've actually done that, like blown people off, canceled dates and appointments because I wanted to finish a book. I know. I'm very antisocial. I even admit to it. I just really love books. And then the third thing is probably the biggest thing, though. I think that books and escapism that like naturally comes with books is kind of a dangerous thing, because it's very addictive and it's very easy for you to just, as I said in point 2, you become kind of reclusive and antisocial because you think, like, there's so many worlds, there's so many different people you can be and you can meet without even having to leave your room, and there's nothing, you risk nothing by entering their world. You can go back to your real life, it doesn't change anything, and that's both a good and a bad thing. While I am still very much aware of what is reality and what is not, I have caught myself thinking like, oh, I wish I lived in that world, because I'm not that happy with my own life, and instead of working on my own life, I escape into a book that I like. You become lazy in that sense, and I would say definitely that's a disadvantage. Alright, I'm hoping this recorded now, because if it didn't, I will probably have to go kill myself. There are so many scenarios where the outcome is me killing myself. I don't know why that's the conclusion I jumped to. I am tagging a couple of people, but I haven't figured out who yet, so I will just put their links and annotations on the screen for you to click very conveniently. And yeah, I am going to go to university now and meet my future friends. Haha. because I'm so good at making friends. Totally. Social anxiety. Just hands. Anyway, you guys, have a lovely week. I'm going to see you soon. Also, just a side note, if you haven't already, make sure you enter in my giveaway, which I'll link right here. It's just postcards, but I don't know, if you haven't seen it already, maybe you should take part, because I love you guys, and I want to give you a little something to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed. So yeah, I'm going to see you guys soon. Bye! Mwah!